The bottom hinge has 4 bolts and the top hinge has 2 bolts. I'm just going to put a little bit of blue thread locker on my bolts. All 6 of these bolts are the same. And then the top one. Okay, now I'm just going to tighten all 4 of those bolts. Alright, my bolts are ready to mount onto the car. 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom. Okay, you gotta lift this end up. Okay, we got the door hung. Now I just need to tighten those bolts up. Now I'm going to try to rewire this door. Here's my wiring diagram. These 2 rubber plugs, one goes in the body here and the other one goes in the door. A hole right here. So, and this little plug has to pop in. These wires hanging down here. I think the plugs are all unique. Now the wire colors are not the same. Just have to go by the shape of the plug on some of them. This one with the blue end is for the side light up here. Well, there's the green wire. I think this one goes to the lights. So I think I got them all. Okay. Now over here, all these wires need to go into that hole right there. And then this plug will plug into that hole. Plug on this side. Before I start stringing my wires through this back door, I'm going to put a couple of parts on the outside here. I've got this door handle, a couple of small nuts on there. Okay, there's a little arm that goes through there. This little bar goes between the door handle and that little green plastic thing. It has an adjustment on it, so you can just turn that in. I think it's probably pretty close where I left it right there, so I'm just going to try that. Alright, I'm going to try putting it in this way. I think that's the way it goes. Now that little green thing has to slide forward and pop onto the little metal rod. There, I got that. There we go. Alright, the key goes in here. You see right back up in there, the key and that little plastic thing has to clip onto the rod there. I'm not going to be able to show me doing that on camera. Once I have the little bar clipped on, then this little thing slides on to hold the lock in place. Okay, I got the clip in there. Alright, this is the back door handle. Both of the bulbs were burned out. 217 5-watt bulbs. I replaced them with a Napa 194 bulb. They're both 5 watts. There we go. And those just slip in the little groove there. Once you get it lined up, slide it in and turn it clockwise a quarter turn. Next, I'm going to put on my license plate light. 2 big holes here. That's for the wires to go in. And then each one has like a little rubber plug on it. That wire in that hole and put that rubber plug in. These 2 holes here. Line up my holes. Put those 2 nuts on. There's one right there, and the other one's right there. I'll just tighten those two up with a small wrench. Okay, I tightened up those two bolts. I think I'm ready to run my wires now. These ones have like the blade fitting on them. These go up the side here and come out that little hole here, and then connect to the rear window defroster. There's one on either side. And this bundle with this other long blade wire go through the little holes. One of the holes has a little plastic ring in it to protect the wires. I'm going to put it through that hole. Same over here, another plastic protector. There's little clips on here that clip onto the edges to hold the wires in place. Two lights here. Okay, I think I've got them fed through and clipped on. This is my brake light. It goes right up here in the middle on the top. There's a hole right there for the wire to go through, and then it go around and come out down here. Oh, there we got it. Alright, then I just need to put the plug in here. That might be one of those easy to say things. So I fed this wire in, wiggled it until I got it down around the side here. Then I got that rubber stopper in there. Now I'm looking for the bolts to bolt the brake light on. Found my bolts. Oh, just a little note. I changed the brake light in here and I had trouble figuring it out. It has these two tabs on, one on each side. Okay, to open it up, use your screwdriver and push those in. They just pop in like that, and then pry the tab out. Do that on each side and it'll just open right up. Easy peasy. To put it back in, just pop these tabs out like that. Slide them in the hole and then push it in until it's flush. It pops in place. That's how you change the brake light. Pull it from the other side and push it in at the same time. There we go. That should be good. Okay, the brake light is in. Okay, there's the wire from up on top. I want to make sure I don't get tangled around my locking mechanism over here. So I'll just plug these two together, but I'll do it on the inside here. There we go. My defrosters are next. I just slid that on here. There's a plug right here, so just unplug this and then slide it down. I'll show you on the other side. Okay, here's the wire that goes up here. I'll just unplug that down here and then slide that down through the hole. Plug it in up here. Plug these back together here. I think my wiring is all done. Clips, I don't know if that's where they were, but that's where I have them now. Everything's out of the way. The locking mechanism and everything worked. The brake light is hooked up. I think I'm ready to cover this panel up. A thin bead of this really gooey acoustic cement. I want to go on the inside of all these holes. Vapor and acoustical sealant. It never gets hard. That's just to keep like dust from getting in there. I should be ready to put this panel in. Before I do that, I was going to put this little plug in over here. Pops into that hole there. That's where it goes. Pop them in like that so they stick out. Slide them in the hole and then push them back in like that. I got a little plug, goes in that hole right there. There we go, got that one in. Also, these little split plugs go around that wire on each side. That one and that one. And then they just plug in. They open up, go around the wire, and then plug in. Got those little plugs in there and there. Now I need to unplug these guys again so that I can put in this piece of weather stripping here. Now this piece goes in. Okay, I think I've got it pushed in good. I think. Now I can hook these two back up again. Let's see, now I've got this big weather strip here that goes all around this door. It just slips right over that edge all the way around. There's a hole right here on the door. This part goes in that hole. When it closes, slides up into here. I'm going to put this in kind of loose and then try it out and make sure it fits right. Alright, now I'm going to shut the door. Right there, it should be right in place or really close. It's the right one because it doesn't look exactly like the other ones. It also has alignment marks on the top and on the sides. Okay, those marks are lined up pretty good. Let's try it out. Sounds good. Now there's a shock absorber bar. This thing goes in the top. One end screws into that hole. The other end slips up. I'll put this end in first. Okay, I got this end bolted in, nice and tight. This end, slip it up on there, and then I'm just going to put a nut on there, and I'll snug that up against that plastic spacer there. Now I'm going to put this little metal strip, goes over the end of the carpet area here. Line up my screw holes and then screw that on. These are the screws that it takes. I'm guessing there's a couple of bigger holes here, too big for these screws, and I've got these little plastic things that were in the same bag, so I assume these are just plugs that go into those holes. Okay, you can see I put a little piece of outdoor carpet over the top of the factory carpet. Got that strip on, that will hold it down. Okay, that pretty much finishes up my back door. Next I'll probably work on some trim pieces. That's it for now. Moving on.